All right, here we go. Let's try this again. All right, perfect. Let's do this. Hi everybody, my name's Adrienne. Today I'm gonna go through a short little flow for full body, just something that anybody at any level can do. I always try to offer lots of modifications and variations so that way it's comfortable for you. So if you're watching this, thank you for taking the time for yourself to do a little bit of self-care, focus on the present moment, and really cultivate and strengthen that muscle of mindfulness. So as the sun's setting, things might change with the camera quality and stuff. So this is all just something a little new for me. But if you guys like these videos, if you want to see more, just let me know. So first, we're going to go ahead and get started lying on our back. You can bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. I like to place my palms on my chest and my belly and just notice your breath. Just drop into this present moment here on your mat. Let go of everything that you came onto this mat with. It doesn't serve you anymore. See if you can tune in to your breath and tune into your body. And begin to notice the mind. Just noticing the thoughts that come up for you. Maybe they appear as pictures or words, or it can be anything. And gently let it go, whatever it is. As we move through today's flow, keep coming back to the breath. Wherever your mind takes you, whatever thoughts may come up, whatever comes up. See if you can just gently let it go. Come back to the breath and keep going. So anytime you feel like your mind is telling you to quit, to do something else, to turn off the video, see if you can notice that thought, acknowledge it, but then gently release it. Take a big inhale through the nose and exhale to sigh it out. Bring the knees together and then slowly draw them in towards the chest. Just being really gentle with ourselves today. You can take the palms on top of the knees and just take your hips for some circles. Going one way and then the other, just really massaging the low spine here. Great job. And then from here, start to come up into a nice easy seated pose. Sukhasana, so just crisscross applesauce. And you can bring the knees on top, the palms on top of the knees. And inhale to close the eyes if you'd like. We'll start with some circles with the shoulders, just rolling them up towards the ears and down the back. Start to connect to a deeper breath. And then use your nose as a guide here as you make some head circles going one direction and then the other. And just being mindful as we go behind the neck, not to go too far back. Feel free to stop anywhere along the way if there's some sticky parts. This is your practice. Everything that I am suggesting is merely a suggestion, nothing more. You know what's best for your body. The next time your right ear's by the right shoulder, go ahead and let it hang here. So you should feel this stretching through the left side of the neck. See if you can drop the shoulders away from the ears here. Take a big full breath up into the chest. Take your right fingers on top of your head just to add a little bit more weight. Notice how that feels. Use your exhales to soften. And then gently release the fingers. Take the left ear to the left shoulder. Feeling that stretch now on the right side. And then take the fingertips on top of the head. Add a little bit of resistance. Inhale. Exhale to draw the shoulders away from the ears. Open through the shoulder, the neck. Gently let it go. Awesome. We'll take the right arm on top of the left here in front of us and find eagle arms. So you can always bring the back of the arms to touch. You can bring palms to touch, or if this is just too much already, just bring the palms into a clasp in front of you. So wherever you are, inhale to lengthen and send the elbows or the fists up towards the sky. Exhale to round everything through. Navel draws in. Again, inhale to take it up. Exhale, round it through. Almost think like a cat-cow here. One last time. Lift the elbows. And then exhale to draw everything in. Come back to neutral. Swing the arms around. Grab a bind here and then draw the knuckles down the back body, opening through the chest. Gently release and take the opposite arm on top. Find your eagle arm variation, either palms, either overlapping here or touching. Inhale, lift the elbows, and exhale to round it through. See if you can notice your breath here. Inhale to lift, and exhale. That's your only job. Noticing your breath, coming back to the breath, noticing it again. Round everything through. Beautiful. I think that was 3. So draw the knuckles behind again. Opposite thumb on top. Open through the chest. And gently let it go. You can swing the legs around here, or you can roll on over your knees. Come into tabletop. So knees are stacked underneath the hip points. Wrists are underneath the shoulders. And think about your heart space here, lifting in between your shoulder blades. So nice and engaged in the upper back body, not dropping our heart space down. So press away from your yoga mat. And I want you to press into all 10 fingertips here, so we're not dumping all of the weight in our wrists. Go ahead and drop the belly. Inhale, lift the chest, cow pose. And then exhale to draw it all in. Navel draws in towards the spine for cat. Again, inhale, lift. And exhale to round through. Press away from your yoga mat. Create this doming effect in the upper back body. One more time. Inhale, drop the belly. And exhale to round it through. Gorgeous. From here, curl the back toes. Draw the hips towards the back of the mat and then peel the hips up towards the sky. Our heels do not have to touch the mat here. So just walk your dog, pedal out your feet, straightening one leg, bending the other. See if you can melt your heart space towards the tops of the thighs. So downward dog is great because it's technically an inversion where our hips are over our heart. So that's going to help lower our blood pressure. It's also a resting pose. So it may not always feel like it, but when you're in downward facing dog, take deep, full breaths. Keep the left palm on the mat and then take your right palm to the outside of the left ankle. And then look underneath that left armpit, spiraling your heart towards the sky. Breathe in and exhale back to center. Take another inhale in and then take your left leg to the outside of the right ankle. Your left palm to the outside of the right ankle. Look underneath that armpit. And then exhale back to center. Start to walk your feet up towards the top. I like to crisscross my feet so I feel a deeper stretch in my hamstrings. But you can tippy toe, you can just take regular steps. Keep the feet hip width apart. Have a generous bend through the knees here. We don't need to touch the floor, but find something where you can just let everything go. Let the weight of the head hang nice and heavy. You might even grab the elbows and sway side to side. Letting go in the upper back body, in the back body, behind the legs. Nice. Straighten your left leg, bend your right knee, plant your right palm right underneath your face, and then like you're opening some kind of bow, open your left fingertips up towards the sky nice and slow. Sink the hips back a bit. Feel that stretch in the left hamstring. Take one inhale in through the nose, and exhale, lower the left palm right underneath the face. Switch sides, so straighten the right leg, bend the left, and then inhale, open your bow up towards the sky, right fingertips reach up. Breathe. Notice what your mind is telling you. Release it. Exhale, back to center. Bend through the knees, slowly start to rise all the way up, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other till the head is the very last thing to come up. Come into mountain pose. Palms face forward, chest is lifted. Feel the four corners of your feet on the mat here. And then notice with your hips, try to get the fronts of your hips shining up towards the sky and then creating this grounding energy through the back body. So feel this up current and then this down current happening at the same time. Notice your breath. Great. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky, palms to touch, and then exhale to forward fold, bending everything down. Inhale, halfway lift. Palms can be on shins or they can be on quads. Nice long neck in the spine, or nice long spine throughout the neck. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the palms, step one foot back and then the other. Plank pose. You can always come down to the knees here for plank. Breathe in. Exhale, bend the elbows, come all the way onto the belly. Fingertips come out to the sides, off the mat. Elbows are lifted. Tops of the feet are pressing into the mat. Inhale, rise up. Listen carefully. Exhale, draw the left shoulder down towards the mat. Feeling a stretch in the left side. Inhale to come back up. Other side. Right shoulder comes down as you exhale. Inhale, lift. Move with your breath as you exhale to fold down the middle. Nice. Bring the palms right by the low ribs. Curl the toes. Lift the kneecaps. Tone the quads. And then as you exhale, press up to plank. Nice and strong. One more inhale. And exhale. Meet me in downward facing dog. Great job. Let's do a little lower body movement here. So anchor down through the right heel. Lift the left leg up towards the sky. Beautiful. Bend the right knee and open the hips towards the right. Let right heel comes towards the glutes. And then you can take your knee in some gentle circles here, feeling that sensation in the hips. Then reverse your circle, go the opposite way. Take an inhale in through the nose. Exhale. Step it all the way up. Drop down on the back knee, or you can come up. Inhale. Low lunge. Breathe in. Exhale, plant the palms down, and then come into a half split. So instead of sending the hips all the way back, slide your right foot forward so that your hips are stacked over the left knee. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Flex the right toes towards your forehead for a deeper stretch. And exhale to sink down. Breathe. Inhale, roll forward, plant the palms, lift the back knee, and then step the right foot back. This is where you can flow through a vinyasa. So you can come all the way down into the belly, go into that upward facing dog, or you can start to reach past your fingertips, come into a half push-up, come onto the tops of the feet, and then press yourself up to a upward facing dog. The eyes are lifted off the mat, and then exhale to meet me in downward facing dog. Gorgeous. Let's take it to the other side. Anchored through the right heel. Send the left leg up towards the sky. Bend the left knee. Bring that heel towards the glute. Find some circles here with the hips. Try to keep your shoulders square to the front of the mat so we're not just dumping everything. And then as you exhale, step it all the way up. Drop down the back knee, or you can keep it lifted. And then inhale, take the fingertips up towards the sky. Breathe. Exhale, bring the palms to the mat. Find your half split, slide the left heel forward, flex the toes towards the forehead. Inhale to take the gaze forward. And exhale, sink down to the hips. Your left knee can be bent, or you can have a slight micro bend. You never want to completely lock out any joints. Exhale, roll forward, pick up the knee, step it back, move through your vinyasa flow. Upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. Nice. From here, walk it all the way up. You can crisscross, you can baby step, or if you want to try floating, look towards your palms so you can find where you're going. And then just find some buoyancy, some playfulness in the lower body, and then jump towards the front. Nothing crazy. Lift the hips. Drop the head, and then heel toe your feet so that your toes are spilling off the edge of the mat. Go ahead and come all the way down into Malasana, yogi pose, yogi squat. You can, if this isn't comfortable, something you can always do is put some blocks underneath. Let me know if you guys want me to do more props in class or what you want to see too. So as I'm here in this squat. So find something that's comfortable for you. You can take blocks underneath. You can completely not do this also. But see if you can hang out here for a second in this rooting posture. This pose is really, really great for your root chakra, which is all about you as a person. I am. So feel grounded, feel supported in this pose. Nice. And since we're here, bring the feet back in towards each other. Let's play around with some crow pose. So maybe you just try to take something away from this, even if crow isn't necessarily in your practice. See maybe if this can inspire you to try something different, to fail at something, and to try again. Okay, so I want you to take your fingertips out nice and wide, spread them out, and then send your thumb forward. So this is kind of the grip that we want to have with any arm balances. So from here, I'm pressing into my yoga mat with all 10 fingertips, especially pressing in through my thumb. For crow, I'm going to place my knees into my armpits. The eyes of my elbow are shining forward. And then from here, I'm literally just going to think about shifting my weight forward. As I do this, more and more of my weight comes up. And then I can start to pull my heels towards my glutes and come down whenever I'm ready. So if you're not quite there yet, I want you to just really be finicky about your palm placement, about making sure that your joints are stacked. You'll notice when I go up, my elbow is stacked directly over my wrist. So that's how this pose gets its strong stance from. It's really hard to balance on something that isn't stacked. So start by just picking up one foot and then the other, and then maybe they both join together. Your toes don't have to touch. They can be open, but I feel like this just brings it all together for me. And I'm pressing into all 10 fingertips. You can see my fingers. Nice. It's not about always holding it forever. It's just about playing. It's about noticing. So once you've had enough of those, go ahead and bring your fingertips behind. Just come to a nice lying seated position. And then from here, extend the legs out long. I want you to find a bend in the knees. It can be as big as you need. And then reach the fingers up towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Just notice how you feel. Notice your breath. Hi, Shaggy. Go ahead and come back up. Straighten the legs and then point both of your feet. Find a steeple grip, so interlock your fingers. Point your fingers out nice and long. Get nice and long in the spine. And then as slow as you can, come all the way down onto your back. Fighting that urge to just dump everything down. Engage the core here. Notice that shake, embrace it. And then once the head is the very last thing to come onto the mat, just let everything go. You did it. Well, we're not quite done yet. We're just gonna stretch a little more, hang out in Shavasana for a minute. But you did it. You did the video. So go ahead and draw the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Extend just the left leg out. Draw the right knee in towards the right ear. And then take the right leg across the body over to the left. Take your right arm out nice and long. Try to keep your shoulders on the mat here. Soften and let go. Don't hold on to your breath. Let it flow. And then inhale to come back to center. Extend the right leg out. Draw the left knee in towards the chest. And then bring the left leg across the body and send the left fingertips out nice and long. I like to keep my arm on top of the leg to pull a little bit more. Breathe into the belly and soften. Exhale, bring it back to center. One very last thing. Bring the heels towards the glutes and then press the palms right by your hips down into the mat. As you inhale, lift the hips up towards the sky, find a bridge. Exhale, gently lower everything down, one vertebrae at a time. Again, press into the heels, inhale to lift the hips. Squeeze the glutes and exhale all the way from the neck down to the tail. One more time. Inhale, lift the hips. Keep it lifted. Find a bind underneath or behind the back here. So interlock the fingers, open through the chest, take a big breath in. And exhale, gently roll back down. Find any position that is comfortable for you today. We're gonna settle into Shavasana, so I'll show you how you can use a couple of props. Even if you don't have a bolster, you can take a blanket and you can just roll it up, place it as a pillow behind your head somehow, or sometimes it's nice to have, not such a long extension in the knees, especially me because I've had 3 knee surgeries, so my knee is pretty sensitive. So you can do that. And then another option is to grab a block or two. Just grab both. So you can grab 2 blocks for supported fish pose or a variation of it. So I like to place this block in between my shoulder blades and then this block to just kind of support my head so it's not all in my shoulder blades. So find whatever's comfortable for you. You can even just use this blanket as a bolster as your fish block here, or just use it as a blanket. So from here, come into a comfortable position. We won't be here for too long, but just allow yourself to settle in. Opening through the chest. You could just have no props and just lie there on your back. That's wonderful. Just relax the skin of the forehead, the skin of the face. Unclench your jaw. Unfurrow your eyebrows. Just notice your breath. Let everything go. Nobody needs you right now. And just release everything onto your mat. Start to invite a deeper breath in through the nose, filling the chest and the belly. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. You can take a full body stretch up overhead. Start to lift yourself up. You can move any props that are in the way. Always come out of it if it is not comfortable for you. Comfort is the most important thing. Not comfort, but safety. A safe comfort. Come into a fetal position on your right side. You can take the right arm as your pillow underneath. I asked somebody if they were a yoga pose, what pose would they be? And they said fetal position. I said happy baby or goddess pose. So fetal position is all about new beginnings, rebirth. It symbolizes or represents a newborn child or fertile seed. So one of the definitions of yoga is change, basically. You're not the same person that you were yesterday. You're not even the same person that you were before you rolled out your mat. We're always changing. In yoga or mindfulness practices, just give us an opportunity to pause amongst all that change. Let go of our control over it. So my camera stopped recording for some reason, but as I was saying, yoga gives us an opportunity to stop and pause and reflect amongst all of the change so we can learn how to be more responsive versus reactive to all those changes. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and press yourself back up to a nice easy seated pose, crisscross applesauce or sukhasana. And you can bring the hands together at heart center, or you can place the palms on top of the knees. And I invite you to take a big inhale through the nose, filling the chest and belly, And then exhale, let it all go. We'll do one more. Inhale deeply through the nose, biggest breath you've taken all day. And then gently let it all go. Notice how you feel. And thank you for sharing your time and energy with me today, and for carving out the time for your practice, for showing up, for doing the work, and ultimately reaping the benefits. So if you guys would like for me to share more videos like this or other similar videos, please let me know. You'll find all of my information in the description. But we'll go ahead and close out today's practice. Gently bow the head down to the fingertips and quietly whisper to yourself, Namaste.